Time for the first top coat. I don't know what this oil is. Tree oil. Definitely tree oil. Let's start at this end. I'm going to hazard a guess and say, because it's called birchwood cases, it's probably actually birch oil. There. 10 minutes. One coat of oil applied. It's looking like I'm going to have to do that at least 3 times. But it's soaking up quite nicely. So we'll stand that over there. That's where it can live for the next 24 hours. Right, this is coat 1 of the oil. It's feeling a bit rough after it's been put on there, so we'll give it a going over with some oil. And then I've got some cloth here that's cotton cloth. And we're not going to go too mad with the wire wool. We'll just go once over the whole thing. Don't press too hard, a gentle rub. Oh, life is so full of innuendo, isn't it? We'll just go all over the whole thing. There was a few high points on there. You can see where the stock was standing up like this overnight. It's run down here, but it's not too bad. Get rid of that stainless steel wire, and then we'll give it a rub over with this one of these pieces of cloth, just to get rid of the bits of wire wool. What you don't want in a situation like this is cloth that's going to break up when it goes over a rough bit, like over there. So you know, you don't want cotton wool. Cotton wool is one of the worst things you can use when you're burnishing and cleaning stuff up. Horrible. Same as when you use it on cuts and grazes. Now this time around, I'm going to apply the oil with a piece of kitchen towel. I'm quite specific about kitchen towel. There are dozens of different kitchen towels out there, but this is the one you want to use because that is strong, almost as good, not quite as good, but almost as good as a piece of cotton rag. Doesn't break up. Even if you attack it with like a wire brush or something like that, it doesn't fluff. So we'll dump some more of this in there. And we'll get to it. That stuff smells really nice. Now, the trouble is I'm going to try and do it this way because the light's shining in through the window. It'll give me better light. We should be able to apply it more evenly with this. This is going to look lovely once it's finished. I think using this kitchen towel will also help to avoid runs and give us a much more even coat first time over. This is worse than wrapping Christmas presents. It takes you literally a couple of minutes to put a coat of this stuff on. Then you have to wait, like, you know, an entire ice age before you actually get to see the results of what you've done. trick with this is getting it even. Look at me going on as if I'm an old hand at this. It's the first time I've ever done this. I've waxed wood before and done a lot of fancy metal finishes. I used to work for a guy that did all manner of bizarre finishes to metal. And what I've always found the only difference between working with wood and metal is you've got a grain with wood. You always have to bear the grain in mind whenever you're doing anything with wood. And that's pretty much it for that coat. I think I've got everything. I'm going to stand this over there in the sunlight. We'll get the camera over there. So we haven't got sunlight all over it, but you can get a good idea of what it's going to look like when it's finished. I don't really like a gloss finish on woodwork. I prefer a satin or matte finish. So once we're done with our oiling, we'll give this a dust over to take the shine off of it. But that's coat number 2. Right, so Alan, this is over 24 hours after this coat number 2. And the whole thing's feeling pretty rough. So I'm going to give it, before I give it the next coat of oil, I'm going to give it a thorough going over with some 1500 wet and dry sandpaper. But I'm going to keep it dry. I'm not going to wet it. We're ready for oil application number 3. I'm a bit gutted that this seems to be just plain old simple birch oil, because I've actually got a container of homemade birch oil in the other room which I could have used. Again, I'm going to use a piece of kitchen towel, well, Bounty, Plenty, whatever you want to call it. I'll call it Bounty. Never really got the whole idea of changing brand names every 5 years or whatever it is they do. And then we'll try and apply what should hopefully be the last coat. So we'll stand him over there to dry. Maybe not. Just spotted another little rough bit. We're going to get some runs in there if we're not careful, so we'll just dash a bit of that off with the dry side of the cloth. There we go. Now, as silly as it might sound, I'll come back 2 or 3 times over the next 15 minutes and just check it, just to make definitely sure there's no runs forming. And that'll be coat number 3. So we'll leave it until tomorrow. To be honest with you, it normally only takes about a couple of hours to get to the point where you can see how that particular coat's going to take. So I'll check it in a couple of hours and see what it looks like. Coat 4